Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the channel. My name is Drydeck. If you're new here, I do videos about different Diablo 1, Diablo 2, and World of Warcraft mods. If any of that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing below as there will be many more videos in the future. Alright, welcome to the video, guys. This is going to be more of an informal video. It's just going to be going over the Classless update number 4 on the Ascension webpage here. This is going to be my pseudo first opinion. I did give this a little bit of a cursory glance, but I really haven't given my my full thought to it. I just want to give you guys my first impressions of it, excuse me, and we'll go from there. So this, I believe, is more PvP stuff. Yeah. So I'm not really a big PvP guy, so if anyone is more inclined to this PvP stuff, go ahead and leave your comment in the description of the video about the changes and let me know how you feel about them, because even though I don't personally PvP, I do like to hear about how the player base reacts to some of this kind of stuff. It does look like we have a new legendary enchant, which we'll cover a little bit later, which I think they're listed down below. So this one, the Back to the Roots thing, the Moonkin form and the Tree of Life form now requiring certain primary stats. So that's interesting, so that has PvP aspects, obviously, for roots and stuff in the middle of PvP, but that also changes the way that I think healers are going to work in raids. Certain things have, like, Shade of Iran comes to mind. Has that arcane impulse where it pulls you in and then you explode. You can switch in and out of Tree of Life and Moonkin form drop them, so I'm wondering if this is going to work in PvE or if this is just strictly PvP. So that's interesting. Tree of Life healers are going to be a little bit lacking, so if they're in spirit and whatnot, that might not be as good. Resilience, again, more PvP stuff, so I've asked the devs specifically about the resilience, if this works on bosses and PvE. It doesn't, so it doesn't really affect me too much. So blocking, blocked. No matter how you build your character, you'll have strength and weaknesses. Yeah. In case of shield tanks, this trade-off equation has been somewhat flawed. As a shield tank, a lot of your power comes from the ability to block incoming damage, but while blocking 700 damage on a hit from a 5-man dungeon mob is huge, blocking 700 damage on a hit from a 25-man heroic boss isn't. I mean, yeah, I agree. That's one of the biggest things I've had personal problems with the shield tanks. The 700 damage, I mean, is a little low. I was doing that in, like, greens. So in, like, full raids with cooldowns, I'm blocking about 2,200 damage. Even still, that's just not a lot. You should be able to play what you want. Yeah, we want to fix that. Your successful blocks have a 33, 66, and 100% chance to reduce the damage you take from the hit by 25%. So, for example, if you hit for 1,000 damage before block and have a block value of 500, you will take 375 damage minus, yeah. So anytime you have reductions of damage, you minus your block value from the original and then times it again. This change is the first series of changes aimed at giving shield tanks defensive options that are effective also against hard-hitting enemies. If you choose to build it, shield tanks with these changes should be very capable of tanking even the most formidable heroic raid bosses. I don't honestly... Okay, so I don't think even with this reduction, it's still gonna be enough. So let me pull up my calculator. So even, let's say, you know, you take 75% chance, 75% damage from a total block. I was doing, I was kind of off-tanking a heroic Gruul 25-man. And even when we're just doing our 10-mans, I get hit on average when he's at, like, 10 gross stacks for 8k, 9k. But in that heroic, I was getting hit for roughly 13,000 damage. So with full cooldowns, I block about 2,200. So take that, still getting hit for 10,800, and then times that by 0.75. So I'm still getting hit for about 8,000 total damage even with that change. While that is a lot better than what I normally would take, it's still not going to be as good as hard avoidance, because if he's hitting you for 8,000, God forbid even 9,000, like every second or two, still having just raw avoidance is still, I think, going to be better. So it's better, it's a good start, but there's a lot that needs to be improved for shield tanks to get better. New stuff. It wouldn't be proper to do a new update with some stuff, hype, whatever. New capstone. Takes your blood with this final rank. Your rend ability deals 75% weapon damage to the target. That's actually pretty cool. I've been wanting bleeds to be a little bit better. Even with a two-hander, rend was hitting like a wet noodle. So that's pretty cool. I like that. New legendary enchant, Fellborn. You're infused with Fell power. When you deal damage, you have a chance to call down a Fell meter to the target, dealing chaos damage, increasing your chance to score a critical strike on the target by 5 seconds for 8 by 5% for 8 seconds. This enchant obtained as a Fell touch reward. Okay, so that's I think Fell's touched, if I remember right, is a PvP type environment. So anyone who, I hope it's not strictly dictated by if you actually do this or not. You can actually buy it. That would be good. My first impression on this, depending on the proc rate and depending on the raw amount of damage, this chaos damage could be good because chaos doesn't have any resistances, so it could be really good. But the increasing your critical strike chance is actually pretty huge, especially for like on hit builds and fast attacking builds. So depending on haste and how much this is, I could see this being a good one. I'm getting kind of sick of using overheating personally on my melee build, so I'm pretty happy about that. New legend enchant, Time Warp. After casting Blink, your spell damage, spell haste, and spell critical chance is increased by 5% for 6 seconds. You'll also create a Time Warp, allowing you to return to original Blink position if cast within 4 seconds. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's even good for PvE. So if you have to like warp out of something, you have like a little bit of a damage window to create more damage. It's pretty cool. I like it. New legendary enchant, Predator's Wrath. Your predatory strikes effect now lets you cast Wrath while leaving cat form. Wrath cast this way are unable to miss or crit, restore 30 energy and 15% of your base mana, and cause your auto attacks to deal additional nature damage for 6 seconds. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I know that Tommy Ruin has a video about his like his cat Moonkin type ability where he does Wrath. The fact that it can't miss is really huge, and you can stay in cat, but the fact it can't crit, that's pretty cool. So this seems more like an energy battery type thing. I don't know if the damage is going to be worth it out of while you're staying in cat form. The global cooldown might not be worth it, because if you're casting Wrath, then you can't use your other abilities. So if you're casting Wrath, yeah, you're regenerating your mana, you're getting more energy to dump once the effect leaves. But I guess if you're strictly trying to buff Wrath damage and just stay in cat form, that could be good. I don't see this synergizing too well together. New epic enchant, Temple Guardian. Using Intervene on a friendly target with Weakened Soul, remove the debuff from them and put it on you instead, and reset the cooldown of your Intervene. This effect has a 15-second cooldown, does not work when your soul is weakened. In addition, Inner Fire now increase your block chance by 5%. That's interesting. I don't really particularly use Intervene in PvE scenarios. It's really not that good. I could see some very niche scenarios where if you build around the Weakened Soul, it'd be good. But really, just the in addition, your Inner Fire increase your block chance by 5% is pretty huge. That's pretty good. I like that. It's an epic enchant. Yeah, I could see that. Biggest thing, Inner Fire giving you more block. That's always cool. Your arcane unfurling time, excuse me. Your arcane blast now applies slows if known to the target. This can occur only once every 8 seconds. That's cool for PvP. It's not going to have any bearing on PvE pretty much at all. Critical cycles, your periodic damage of your insect and moon fire spells cast during solar and lunar eclipse now respectively can be critical. That's actually really cool. So you can combine that with the existing legendary RE, which casts those spells automatically, and just getting a little extra critical chance on those would be pretty good. So that's pretty cool. That's a good buff to Moonkins, I think. New epic enchant, Fancy Footwork, teaches you an upgraded version of Feint, which works as a finishing move. Fancy Footwork lowers your threat on the target by 2% per combo point, so 10 total, and increase your physical damage dealt by 5% total, and reduce the damage you take from area effects by 15% damage total per at 5 combo points. This effect lasts 10 seconds. This ability does not trigger a global cooldown, and is only usable if your primary stat is agility or strength. Okay, so I mean, I use Honor Among Thieves in my slam build, and I have plenty of combo points laying around. Whether or not this is is worth it. It doesn't trigger a global cooldown, so I think I'd be able to fit this in, but then I would be replacing one of my other epic REs, and I don't know if it's going to be better or not. I'd have to do some testing on that, so I'll let you guys know about that. Epic enchant, Spirit of the Forest. Your Tree of Life now lasts for 15 seconds and has a 60-second cooldown, but now provides extra bonuses. Rejuvenation provides an instant heal for your target. Wild Growth cooldown is halved, and Life Bloom's mana cost is halved. So this is actually pretty cool. I do love Tree of Life as a base form. I do like the fact it's now kind of like a an oh shit button. It's a cooldown. The Rejuvenation providing an instant heal, I don't know how strong that's going to be with scaling and whatnot. I really don't know. The Wild Growth cooldown being halved is interesting. That means you can get more AoE healing out, but the mana cost on Life Bloom, that's really not even that big of a deal. It doesn't cost that much mana, and most healers don't even use Life Bloom most of the time. 2 or 3, pretty good. I don't know how strong this is. I like this for AoE healing, but I feel like this is kind of like a throwaway stat. If this was Life Bloom's crit chance goes up by double or something, I think that would be way better, but not bad. I like that. That's pretty cool. Rare enchant Death Embrace. Increase the Warlock spell damage against targets below 35 from your Death Embrace by 3%. So that's a rare, so that can go up to 9%, so more of an XQ window. Raw Light. Your Divine Illumination now increases your critical strike chance by 4%. Okay, so that can go up to 12% if it is a stackable one. Sometimes they don't like to put whether it can stack or not, but I'm assuming it will stack. So going forward, yeah, cool. New legendaries, talent reworks, lots of amazing updates to pet. Okay, cool. Well, I do like it. I would say, as far as an overall thing, the blocking, the shield tank stuff is good. I'm glad they're kind of looking at it again, because I've personally made a video on it 2 times now talking about the weaknesses of shield tanking. I still don't know if it's going to be as powerful as Bear or Parry Tank. We'll have to see. I do like some of the new enchants. So, I mean, that does open up a little bit of like extra random enchant customization, and I don't know really how powerful this is, but depending on how strong this actually is, Rend might be a significant player as far as damage is concerned. But so that's my first impressions on that, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments of the video. If you agree or disagree with anything I said here, go ahead and say that down below as well. I don't mind. Let's get a discussion going on this, and maybe if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and tell me, and tell other people in the community, and let your voice be heard. The devs need to know about this kind of stuff so they can come out with new stuff and balance stuff as well. If you've made it this far, I want to personally thank you for watching this video. I do appreciate it a lot. Go ahead and like the video if you did like it. If not, I don't really mind. That's fine. I get it. I'll leave links down in the description to my Twitch and Discord page if you have any questions on this or any other videos that I've done. Thanks again for watching, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye.